great opportunity, therefore, for this season at Yeovilton. Please welcome Squadron Leader Mike Ling.
Thank you, George. A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You just heard I am Squadron Leader Mike Ling. I'm Red 10. I'm the supervisor with the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, the Red Arrows. I'll be talking you through this afternoon's display and making sure your eyes and cameras point in the right direction so you get to enjoy the full spectacle. I've yet to check in with Red 1. I can hear them on my radio, and I've spoken to our junior engineering officer who's over at Cardiff Airport. He's told me that all 9 jets were airborne from Cardiff. Maybe a little bit late. They're trying to catch up time to be here to start the display at 12:30. Well, this year, if you've not seen a display, our aircraft are wearing a new tail fin design. It's a Union flag-inspired design, and that's to highlight our role as national ambassadors for the United Kingdom. Our other roles, including our primary role of demonstrating the excellent speed and agility of the Royal Air Force, include assisting in defence diplomacy, supporting UK industry, and helping to recruit into the British military. We're very proud and honoured representing the very best of British, both at home and overseas. We are a military unit of around 120 personnel. We are commanded by a wing commander, like most other fast jet squadrons in the Royal Air Force. Our officer commanding is Wing Commander Martin Higgins. He's a former Hawk instructor and Tornado F3 air defence pilot, and then he moved on to fly the Red Arrows from 2005 to 2007. Sorry for the slight pause, that was me checking in with Red 1. They are on time, ready to start the display in just 2 minutes' time. So back to our officer commanding. He joined the Red Arrows 2005 to 2007, spent another year with the team in 2012, and he's just returned as the officer commanding, and he's in charge of all the disciplinary and administrative functions of the Red Arrows. He then commands 10 pilots, the 9 you're about to see flying, and myself as the supervisor. But more importantly, he then commands our support staff, who are our Blues, primarily made up of engineers. We do have photographers, suppliers, administrators and drivers who work tirelessly to make sure that our season is a success. They are all military personnel as well, bar our 2 PR staff who are civil servants. And they have all of our military personnel have come from frontline squadrons. They've got lots of experience, and once they spend 5 years with the Red Arrows, then return, taking that experience they've gained back to the front line. Well, the Red Arrows have been given clearance to display. We've got about a minute to go before they arrive, and when they do come, they will be in a formation we call Big Battle. This is a big V shape. The jets will be flying at around 20 feet away from each other, laying down some red, white and blue smoke, and they'll be flying at 400 miles an hour. We have 3 types of display we can fly depending on the weather. Our full display allows looping maneuvers, but that needs a minimum cloud base of 5,500 feet. If it's lower than that, we'll fly our rolling display, where we can fly our formation barrel rolls. But that needs a cloud base of 2,500 feet. If it's lower than that, then Red 1 will lead a flat display. But hopefully this cloud here is high enough for Red 1 to go rolling, and we do have the ability to chop and change as the display progresses, so he can go from rolling to full and vice versa. Well, he's just called starting rolling. Red 2 sounds very excited on the radio. So now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please a big round of applause. Here they are. It's the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team for 2015. It's the Red Arrows.
Come in. Left. Now. Hold in the bank. Now, tight. No, darling. Go.
The voice there of Red 1 as he calls the pilots into 9 arrow in this left-hand turn. The jet's now closing to around 6 feet apart as they form the shape of one big red arrow with the 9 jets. Leading the team is Red 1 squadron leader David Montenegro, and it's his first year as the team's leader. He's a former Hawk flying instructor and Tornado F3 air defense pilot. He previously was a Red Arrow from 2009 to 2011 and led the synchro pair. Coming in to the left now, cameras ready as they show you 9 Arrow.
Rolling out. Letting it out.
Rolling out, letting it out, you hear Red 1 say, then calls the formation into chevron. Reds 8 and 9 pitch up to roll back rapidly as Reds 6 and 7 move across to their respective sides. On the leader's right wing now is Red 2. He's the first of our 3 new pilots this year, Flight Lieutenant Mike Bowden. Mike started his career as a flying instructor on the Hawk before then moving on to fly both the Harrier GR9 and the Tornado GR4 before joining the Red Arrows this year. Out to the right now, you see the shape of a chevron, and they're now going to fly a formation barrel roll as they show us the chevron roll.
Rolling out. Easing up. Back on. Stop. And roll.
400 miles an hour, 6 feet apart, going upside down at 2,500 feet now. Give the boys a wave, boys and girls. They can see you waving. This chevron shape, clearly Red 1 at the front in the middle, and we have the odd-numbered pilots on the left-hand side. The even-numbered pilots fly on the right-hand side. In their 3 years as a pilot with the Red Arrows, they generally start at the front near the leader, and as their proficiency improves, they move further back. On the leader's left wing is the next of our new pilots. He's Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Emmett Cox. Emmett was actually born in New Zealand, but he moved to the UK in 2002 to join the Royal Air Force, becoming a Tornado GR4 pilot and then a Tucano flying instructor. Front left now, you see a new shape being formed. We've introduced this shape this year to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Battle of Britain. And now coming in from the left, reversing the turn, this is to honour all of those who in the summer of 1940 worked to secure our skies. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Spitfire. Back in the summer of 1940s, it wasn't just the few, the fighter pilots who worked to secure our skies. Everybody had their part to play, whether they were plotters, observers, mechanics, air traffic controllers. They all had their part to play to make sure that we did not lose the Battle of Britain. And today, the Royal Air Force is no different. It's not just the pilots who fly to secure our skies. We work on the entire whole force concept, using the engineers, the aircrew, administrators, air traffic controllers, contractors, civil servants who all have their part to play in ensuring that the Royal Air Force delivers its output. Now in from the left, here is our trademark. This is Diamond. Lowermost aircraft we see here is flown by the last of our new pilots. That's Red 5, Flight Lieutenant Tom Bowl. Tom was an instructor on the Tucano aircraft before then becoming a pilot on the Eurofighter Typhoon. You just saw Johnny take off in a Typhoon. And Tom's role on the Typhoon was exactly what I've just been talking about, securing our skies. The Royal Air Force's Typhoon Force is at readiness 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, ensuring that the airspace of the United Kingdom is safe and secure. And that's exactly what Tom was doing before he joined the Red Arrows this year. So over to the right, you see the diamond has widened slightly into what we call loose diamond, as we get ready for a new maneuver for 2015. This is the Whirlwind.
Good. Rolling now. Right now.
Each of the pilots in the whirlwind, they're flying an aileron roll maneuver, which essentially is just a full left-hand control column input, which rolls the aircraft rapidly left around its longitudinal axis. The key to the whirlwind is getting all 9 jets doing it at exactly the same time.
Go.
Well, the smoke goes off. You hear the command to turn the smoke off there as we formed a new shape. This is now based on the former very fast American spy plane from the 70s and 80s, officially known as the SR-71. The shape the boys have formed now is Blackbird.
Hold in the bank. Now tightening.
Well, that's the end of the first part of the Red Arrows display, ladies and gentlemen. So far, you've seen all 9 aircraft together performing close formation aerobatics. Well, now we're going to split down into sections of 2, 3, 4, 5, or 7 aircraft for some more dynamic performing. The big T shape you can see front right is known as Dagger. And at the front of Dagger are Reds 1 to 5. Collectively, they're known as Enid, after Enid Blyton's famous 5. And at the back in the line are Reds 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now 6 to 9 are known as Jippo. Jippo was the nickname of the gentleman who first led the back 4 aircraft when the Red Arrows started flying their 9-ship displays officially back in 1968. So just above the tower now you see Dagger rolling out. The smoke's about to come on as they start the second half of the display. Get your cameras ready for the detonator.
Middle one.
The coloured smoke of Jippo comes on. Enid split above them. Keep your eyes on Jippo. With his smoke changing from blue to white on the right-hand side is Red 6. He's the leader of our synchro pair, Flight Lieutenant Mark Lawson. Mark's in his 3rd and final year as a Red Arrows pilot, and his background in the Royal Air Force has been solely as a Tornado GR4 pilot, where he spent a number of tours and became a qualified weapons instructor. On the right, he is followed by Red 8. If you look left with the smoke on is Red 7, chased down by Red 9. These 4 jets are now descending to just 100 feet. Their closing speed is now 800 miles an hour. They get ready now to fly the Jippo Pass. The synchro pair have left their smoke on. They're turning away from us now. They're pulling 6G, or 6 times the force of gravity. That means everything in their bodies now weighs 6 times more than normal. So these pilots work hard to fight the G-force as they now fly the Cyclone. Synchro pair slingshot out to the front. You need to look to your right 45 degrees now, just by the tower of the church over there, to find Enid. The wings of Enid dropping down to form an inverted V-shape. Look left for a lone jet. This is Red 9, who's now going to fly the Goose.
Right now.
Climbing steeply with the red, white and blue stripe to the right is Red 9, Flight Lieutenant Joe Hurston. Joe's a 2nd-year pilot with the Red Arrows, and he's the team's executive officer. Joe is a former Hawk instructor and Tornado pilot, and then he went back to fly the Hawk as an instructor, but this time on the Royal Air Force's new advanced jet trainer, the Hawk in its new guise as the Hawk T Mark II. Now looking directly above the tower for Red 6, 7 and 8.
7 and 8. Roll.
Red 7 and 8 now roll around Red 6 before they get ready to split. Cameras ready for the Vortex. Flying up through the middle of the vortex with the white smoke was Red 8, Flight Lieutenant Ollie Parr. Ollie is in his third and final year in the Red Arrows. He started off his career as a Tornado GR4 pilot before then spending a tour instructing on the Hawk at RAF Valley. The synchro pair are now about to descend to just 100 feet above the runway. They're going to perform the opposition barrel roll. And the next call you'll hear from the pilots is threshold. That means they've reached a geographical point on the ground, which is the contract point for them to continue this maneuver. So listen out as they fly the opposition barrel roll. Cameras ready. Now look out to the left.
2, 3, 4.
You see Enid being joined by Reds 8 and 9. In fact, Red 8 has had to fly around at 600 miles an hour after the vortex to get into this shape. Big T shape known as Tango.
Come in. Left. Now.
As they fly the Helix.
Hold in the right. Now. Right. Okay. Leader's benefit. 2, 3, 4, 5.
You hear Red 1 call leader's benefit. Reds 4 and 8 go right, Reds 5 and 9 go left as they form this shape leader's benefit. Well, when the Red Arrows pilots fly their aircraft only 6 feet away from the aircraft next to them, they're not looking at that aircraft next to them. Everybody has reference points on the leader's aircraft. They just trust the jet next to them is being flown in the right place. So when the aircraft are further forward in this shape, they get a better view of the leader, hence the name leader's benefit. And this shape measures from wingtip to wingtip 100 meters or 300 feet wide.
Left it. Out. Forward. Out.
Left and right again now for the synchro pair. This time Red 6 from the left and Red 7 from the right. They're closing at 800 miles an hour. They're going to cross 3 times in opposing 360-degree 6G turns in the carousel. Coloured smoke is on. The pilots are pulling 6G as they avoid each other 3 times in these turns. Now watch at this back cross. The pilots are now going to swap their smoke colour using the individual colour control buttons on each of the aircraft's control columns. And when they get to the front for the third cross, the smoke will go white. Now looking right 45 degrees to find Enid. Reds 1, 2, 3 and 5 forming a box formation. Now here's the 5th jet. He's going to roll around them a dozen times.
Come in. Right. Now.
This is the Twister.
Hold in the right. Now. Right. Okay. Left it. Out. Rolling. Out.
Smoke changing from red to blue and the jet getting very dizzy now is Red 4. Red 4 is Flight Lieutenant Stu Campbell, a second-year pilot with the Red Arrows. He's a former Tucano instructor and Tornado GR4 pilot. That's the Twister finishing off to our front left 45. You need to bring your eyes left now to find Jippo as their smoke come on running in from the left. Now in the first half of the display we saw a barrel roll in close formation. Now get ready for a barrel roll with a difference.
rolling in.
Red 6 now rolls upside down.
Easing up. And roll.
Hear the pain in Red 6's voice. He's flying an inverted barrel roll at minus 2.5 G. He's the right way up. The other three are the wrong way up in the mirror roll.
Holding the bank. Now. And 6. Rolling up.
You hear that uncomfortable feeling in his voice there. Minus 2.5 G is very uncomfortable. Looking left now for Enid.
Just in it. White Hawk does 106. 2 and 3. Roll. Go.
The inside pilots roll to the outside in the rollbacks.
Clear. Go. Coming left now.
These fabulous rollbacks finish off to our right. Keep your eyes down there to find Jippo.
Give a smoke on. Go. 6. Rolling in.
Now Red 6 and 7 roll upside down in close formation.
And 9. Roll. Go.
This is the corkscrew. Now let's give the synchro pair a big wave as they fly past upside down, boys and girls. Red 7 there working hard. He's flying his jet only 8 feet away from Red 6, but he's doing it while he's upside down.
Rolling up. Letting it out.
Now right 45 to find Enid.
Give a smoke off. Go. In it. White Hawk. Go. To summon 6. Easing up. 7. Go. And roll.
Enid now in a smaller leader's benefit shape. They're going to draw a red, white and blue snake-like shape of smoke in the sky as they fly the Python.
Hold in the bank. Now. 4. 5. All good. And roll.
You see the smoke has changed colour. Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 go to white. The white smoke is just diesel fuel that we inject into the aircraft's engine exhaust, which burns very hot at around 400 degrees, and that makes it vaporise. To get the red and blue, there's a dye added to the diesel. We can carry 5 minutes of white smoke and a minute each of red and blue. Now looking directly above the air traffic control tower for Jippo.
Go. Give a smoke on. Go. 8 and 9. Roll. Go.
Reds 8 and 9 now roll around 6 and 7.
Go.
They then roll. Cameras ready for the Jippo break.
Go.
Smoke changing from blue to white on the left-hand side now is Red 7. He is synchro number 2, Flight Lieutenant Steve Morris. Steve's in his 3rd year as a Red Arrow. He started off as a Hawk instructor before then flying both the Harrier GR9 and the Tornado GR4 operationally before he joined the Red Arrows. Well, the synchro pair are now perched at around 1,500 feet. They now start their descent down to the runway for their final manoeuvre of the display, which are the double rolls. Ladies and gentlemen, the synchro pair. Now looking directly ahead, above the tower for Enid, who are being joined by Reds 8 and 9 for the display's finale. They're joining into a 7-ship Vixen formation. Cameras ready for the Vixen break. You've been watching the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, the Red Arrows. Red 1 puts his purple smoke on very simply by pressing both the red and the blue buttons so that the other 8 aircraft can get visual with him as they rejoin as 9 aircraft and head back now to Cardiff Airport, where I'll go and join them for the debrief, and then we're displaying again this afternoon in Swansea at 4:30. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to find out more about the Red Arrows, then we do have a website, raf.mod.uk/Reds, or just Google Red Arrows. On Facebook, we're RAF Red Arrows, and on Twitter, it's at RAF Red Arrows. Well, there you go. They're now rejoining to head off. I'm going to go and join them back at Cardiff, thanks to my taxi, which is a Squirrel helicopter from the Central Flying School at Royal Air Force Shawbury, where the Tri-Service Helicopter Training Unit is based. They're going to fly me back to Cardiff so we can debrief. So give us a wave as we fly past in the little yellow and black helicopter. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. I wish you all the very best on behalf of the Royal Air Force and from everybody at the Red Arrows. Have a great day.
Yeah, well, thank you very much indeed, Squadron Leader Mike Ling. What are the Red Arrows going to be when you go? I mean, you seem to have been with them for years and years, Mike. I think we're going to have to pay you off in your retirement. Just keep you going on forever. A great entertainer. I hope you will enjoy that commentary, and really informative and entertaining. But look over to the left now, because something completely different. Sublime, relatively quiet, a lovely old lady of the skies, and Avro Anson is about to take to the sky. This one, a Mark 19, sorry, a 19 Mark II, I should say, and it got a hell of a pedigree. Almost 11,000 of these were built, and in service with both the Royal Air Force and, of course, the Royal Navy Fleet Air Arm as well. This one in the hands of the BAE Systems Heritage aircraft, and being flown by 2 ex-Royal Air Force fast jet pilots, Peter Kosogarin and John Hurrell, and they will be gently easing this through the paces, and a very